Hi everyone, it's Peter Zalums. I'm a photographer, adventurer and investor. I make videos and movies, and today it's the investment side. Was that I predicted there would be worldly events that would stimulate a cycle in the property cycle, and boy did we have a world event, Covid-19. I would have thought that property was pretty much a safe investment. I think a lot of businesses would have thought that too, depending on what they were involved in, whether food, for example, and restaurants. You'd think they would have felt safe as far as security in their business. But then with isolation and this COVID business, it has meant that travel, adventure travel particularly, restaurants and food, wherever the people got on a plane to go somewhere and do something, which has also meant student rental has plummeted and has disappeared here in Australia and in Sydney and the capital cities. It's going to be some time before everything gets back to normal. Now, in the meantime, as I've already spoken on some of my property investment series that I've already started, and you can look those up, I also made some predictions as far as investment property is concerned. In the next phase to have this worldly event, so the property markets as far as values are concerned go down, and the next phase, positive phase that we're looking for, is when rentals go up. Now, two things can happen here. One is if there's cash flow and if people have got work, then they've got money to spend on accommodation and therefore rentals can go up, so that could be a phase. But inversely, if there is no work and there is no cash flow, rentals don't go up. But we keep on heading in this phase where banks and the Reserve Bank keep on reducing interest, the government keeps on printing money, but the jobs aren't there, and we're not going to get out of this phase until it turns around. If you're going to get involved in property, you've got to play the game for the long term. Yes, you can be a speculator and try and do things over a year or two and try and flip property, but right now you've got to survive the long term. And what does that mean? It means that you've got to have cash flow. You've got to either have a job to actually produce the cash flow, you're going to have cash reserves in order to live out the tough times. Adventure travel, with holiday letting, with student accommodation. Basically, our revenue has plummeted 90%, not 19, but 90%. Now, the only way we can survive is through our cash reserves. Now, that's my advice, is if you're going to get involved in property investment, at the same time, you've got to start to think about cash reserves and how you can survive a month, 2 months, maybe 6 months, maybe even longer, should there be a downturn so significant as this. So my plan is to ride this out, and if necessary, ride it out for the next 12 months or even longer. But hopefully the situation will get better. Is not to go back to student rental, because I think it's going to be maybe at least a year away before that's going to improve. The reason for that also is the universities and the colleges and also some commercial enterprises have set up dedicated student accommodation where there is one student per dwelling, so they're small units or apartments. So the concept of shared accommodation may not be very popular for the next 6 months or 12 months or before maybe new processes are set up. So I'm converting this old Victorian terrace into a permanent rental. The downside of this is that the rental income you get for the entire property is going to be 60%, or in the worst case, half of what I was getting before. However, the upside is a lot less administrative issues associated with managing this. And the upkeep will be better as well, I think, and there will be less turnover. Most of my time, I think I'll be focusing on developing my YouTube channel, that's this, and adventure travel, photography, and pursue my passion. My advice to anyone wanting to pursue their passion is pursue it now. Doesn't matter what age you are. If you've got a passion about anything, pursue it all the time. We all have to work out how to make a buck and how to survive. So do all the other things at the same time as you pursue your passion. The task at hand is obviously fix everything up. And the old saying is, well, how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. I hope you're enjoying this. Remember, subscribe, click likes. If you like it, comment. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Cheers.